"Will you marry me?" CEO asked jokingly. Single dad's reply shocked everyone. The room froze for a heartbeat, sunlight pouring through the tall glass windows as if even the day itself was waiting for his answer. It was supposed to be a joke. A careless line tossed out by the city's youngest CEO, Amaro Linnell, during a morning team meeting. Everyone expected the usual awkward laugh, the kind people give powerful bosses to keep their jobs safe. But the single dad janitor Ewan Hale did not laugh. Instead, he lifted his eyes, calm and steady, the kind of gaze shaped by years of hardship, love, and sacrifice. His reply swept through the room like a sudden wind, leaving even Amaro speechless. "If you believe in kindness, redemption, and second chances, then please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Hub. Your one click helps spread stories that heal hearts." Ewan had never imagined he would work in a skyscraper like Linnell Corp. With the sun shining through the big lobby windows every morning, giving the place a warm golden glow, he would mop the marble floors while humming quietly to himself. Life had been unkind to him, but he refused to carry bitterness. After losing his wife during childbirth, Ewan raised his daughter, Lyra, alone. She was 7 now, bright-eyed, endlessly curious, and often waiting for him in the tiny staff break room after school, drawing pictures and filling his world with color he thought he had lost forever. What people saw as an ordinary janitor, she saw as a hero. Amaro Linnell, on the other hand, was known as the Sunlight CEO, always dressed in pale shades of gold or white, her presence glowing wherever she walked. But it wasn't kindness people spoke about, it was power. She ran her company with fierce precision, expectations as sharp as her high heels. Yet behind her confident smile was a loneliness shaped by betrayal and loss, hidden carefully behind her glass office walls. She had everything, yet nothing that felt real. One morning, during a staff gathering in the lobby, Amaro was unusually light-hearted while reviewing a new project. The sunlight fell perfectly on her as she stood addressing the team, and when she spotted Ewan quietly adjusting a stand fan in the corner, she cracked a rare joke about needing a husband who could fix things with just a touch. Someone nearby teased loudly, "Then ask him, ma'am. He can fix anything." The room burst into laughter. Amara, caught in the moment, turned toward Ewan with a playful smirk and said, "Well then. Ewan Hale, will you marry me?" Everyone laughed except the one person she expected to laugh the most. Ewan straightened, fingers tightening on the handle of the fan, and for the first time since he'd been hired, he fully met her eyes. His voice was quiet, but it carried through the lobby with unexpected weight as he replied, "If I ever marry again, it won't be as a joke. My heart isn't something I give to entertain people." Silence drowned the room. The sunlight suddenly felt colder. Amara's smile vanished, not in anger but in something strangely close to shame. It wasn't about the joke anymore. It was about a man who still believed in the sacredness of love despite everything life had taken from him. For the first time, she really saw him. From that day, something changed. Amara found herself noticing the little things Ewan did, the way he tied trash bags carefully so no spills bothered others, how he wiped the coffee station even though it wasn't his duty, how he always kept a spare fruit in his pocket because Lyra sometimes forgot her lunch. She saw the warmth in him that her world had been missing. Ewan, meanwhile, noticed her softening. She greeted him every morning. She offered Lyra a small coloring kit one day and apologized for her earlier joke. What surprised him most wasn't the apology itself but the sincerity behind it. Slowly, cautiously, two very different worlds began drifting toward each other. One afternoon, as sunlight bathed the lobby in its warm glow, Amara found Lyra struggling with her homework. Yuan was in the supply closet, so Amara knelt beside the little girl and gently explained the math problem. Lyra understood instantly and grinned at her as if she had just met an angel. When Yuan returned and saw them together, something stirred inside him, something he had locked away for years. Rumors spread, as they always do. Some whispered that the CEO was favoring the janitor. Others mocked the idea of a billionaire talking to someone like him. Amara ignored them. Yuan endured them. But the quiet connection between them deepened, built on respect, kindness, and the unspoken recognition of two lonely hearts learning to breathe again. The turning point came one bright weekday morning when Lyra didn't arrive with her usual bundle of energy. She fainted near the elevator. Panic tore through Yuan as he carried her in his arms, but Amara was already on the phone, arranging a car, a doctor, anything that could help. She stayed with them the entire day at the clinic, hands trembling slightly whenever Lyra winced. Yuan saw not a CEO but a woman who cared. Lyra recovered quickly, the doctor explaining she had simply skipped breakfast, but the fear of almost losing someone precious stripped away the last walls around Amara's heart. As they stepped out into the warm daylight, Amara looked at Yuan, her voice barely above a breath, and said, "You deserve to be seen, truly seen." Yuan looked at her with the gentleness of a man who had lost much but never lost hope. "So do you," he replied. In that sunlight, their worlds finally aligned. Weeks later, in the same lobby where the joke had once embarrassed her, Amara quietly approached Yuan. No audience. No laughter. Just sunlight, silence, and sincerity. She gently placed a hand over her heart and whispered, "This time. I'm asking for real." Yuan's eyes softened, the answer already written in the warmth of his smile. Near the end, if this story touched your heart, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Hub. It helps us bring more real and emotional stories to you. Special request, comment love deserves respect if you're still reading.